Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Range Ninjas 101. This will be episode 3. I'm Mike B, and today we're going to be doing two stories because they're a little bit shorter from two viewers. And I'll start out the video with kind of going over the basic concept of what a Range Ninja actually is, and then we'll get into the two stories. So Range Ninja, in order to understand that, you got to understand what a mall ninja is. And it's basically an unexperienced and very enthusiastic firearms owner who probably owned, katanas and stuff like that back in the 2000s and stuff, and then now they found firearms, and they're very, very unexperienced and terrible, and they always think that they're, a seasoned operator, operator as fuck, Navy SEAL type, that shit. They'll always go out to the range and, go out shooting in all the most operator as fuck clothing, gear, weaponry, and these guys do either roll with the cheapest imitation shit you can possibly imagine, or they spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on the most top of the line primo shit possible, which doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference to their blatant lack of range safety, range etiquette, and marksmanship, because they naturally suck big fucking elephant fucking cocks at all three of them. And they can't be told otherwise either, that they suck big fucking elephant fucking cocks at all three of them. And these people are usually people who have never been in the military, and that's not the issue. It's just the fact that they act like they are or they were. And if they were in the military, so help you fucking Christ, if you question them, criticize them, look at them the wrong way, because they were 100%, all of them Navy SEALs. Just ask them. Navy SEAL, snipers, Delta Force Rangers, heroes, all of them. So that's kind of the definition we get. It's again kind of like being a FUD. It's a mentality more than it is what your preferences are. And all range ninjas are mall ninjas, but not all mall ninjas are range ninjas. So that's kind of the definition. You'll kind of get what we're talking about. So these are not necessarily dangerous range ninjas. These are just douchebags at a range, but they technically fall into the range ninja category. So our first story today is going to be from Perks Milsurps. Check him out on Instagram if you spell that PERKZMILSURPZ. There, I give you a shout out. You can be happy now. Anyway, so he goes, "Hey Mike, I have a range ninja story that still pisses me off to this day. This happened about a year ago. I had just left a gun show in my hometown with a Turkish Model 98 Mauser. Probably a Model 38, but I'll give you that one. They're all based on the 98 action, or most of them are. The M38? Anyway, my bad, I digress. It was my first Mauser, and I was very excited to get home and get some shots off with it. The range was crowded that day, which wasn't a huge deal, and the only spot was at 200 yards. I noticed beside me was a man with a 308 AR, probably AR-10, and at least $1,500 worth of shit on it. Well, that's pretty low end when you're talking the AR-10 crowd. Anyway, that's my commentary. I'll try to stop this shit. It's just so irresistible at times. That didn't bother me. What did was when this asshole saw my Mauser and scoffed at it. I can't remember what he said about it exactly, but I remember he said something to the extent of "shout out shit." I didn't say anything to him, I didn't say anything to him, and I set up a plate at 200 yards. I noticed he had a 24-inch plate or so up as well. When I got back and the range was clear, he loaded up and began shooting and missing almost every one of his shots. I was laughing about it to myself. My firing pin spring was too weak; it would only shoot new PPU brass case, but it was hitting steel at 10 inches at 200 yards. At the end of the day, when we went to get our plate, he grabbed a smaller AR pistol and slung it around his chest. At my range, this is not allowed, as all guns are supposed to have their bolts open and not touched if people are downrange. Yeah, Jesus. I tried telling him this, but since he was a wannabe Navy SEAL and I was a 17-year-old kid, he blew me off and told me to mind my own. So basically, go fuck yourself. All right, so I've seen people like this. I've experienced people like this personally. If it's not something super tactical and hardcore AR-10, AR pistol, this modern Call of Duty shit, it's just a piece of shit. It's garbage. It's shot out shit because they're uneducated and they don't know. Part of being a range ninja is like being a FUD. You are uneducated as fuck and you refuse to even attempt to want to learn anything that's outside of your area of expertise, which is nothing. And yeah, taking an AR pistol and slinging that on your chest while you're walking out downrange with other people, I don't know how the fuck that was allowed. I would have not gone out there with him. You don't know what he's going to do with that thing. He's going to have an ND. Who knows? But what a fucking idiot. And then what an asshole. Oh, shut out shit. And here's the thing: is if you're gonna talk the talk, you need to walk the walk. So Perks Milsurps was hitting a 10-inch plate at 200 yards with his shot out shit Turkish M38 Mauser. And this other ass clown couldn't even hit at 200 yards with a 24-inch plate with a fucking AR-10. Give me a break, dick sack. Like, if you could hit your target and you're doing really well and you're talking shit about old stuff, I'll let it go a little bit more. You're still a cock juggling thunder cunt, but you know, I can understand at least you can walk the walk. But anyway, yeah, good job just walking away too. With these kind of fuck sticks, that's what you want to do. You want to just walk away. And I know you said you tried telling him this, but he was a wannabe Navy SEAL. That's exactly why I usually don't even open my fucking mouth. I just unass and leave. But hey, good job handling that. Glad nobody was hurt. That's the first story I've told where nobody actually got hurt from somebody's dipshittery. All right, we'll move on to the second story. This is Trevor Risen. Trevor has risen. I don't know. I'm sure you get that a lot. Anyway, so he says, we have a lot of gear queers here in Vegas who live tactical to the T. My gal and I are setting in my newly built AR-10, another AR-10, and are having a great time when this guy wearing a Navy vet, thank me for my service hat, walks behind us during a ceasefire period. He stops, looks over at us, and kind of does that head nod thing, which I'm sure that's exactly what it looked like. Then continues down 3 or 4 shooting benches. Live fire period commences, and he just kind of sits there on his bench staring at us. About 10 minutes into the 20-minute period, he struggles to get his M4A1 clone out of his rifle bag because it had so much shit on it. Oh yeah. I mean, we're talking a good 30 seconds of this dude finger fucking this rifle out of this extra schmedium gun bag. Nice. It's just a basic clone, but he's got one of those ACOG clones, vertical foregrip, the bipod thing. Taped together magazines, flashlight laser combo, and a standalone bipod. So you can never have too many bipods, I guess. His target is set to 50 meters, and he just stands with this thing and starts mag dumping. It looked like he was aiming for the center, but he could have told me he was aiming for fuck all, and I believed him. After 60 rounds of this, after 60 rounds of operator, he sets his... Oh yeah, okay, 60 rounds of operator, gotcha. He sets his rifle over on his bench and then walks over to us because we were having a pretty good chuckle at his expense since he thought he was so cool. First words out of his mouth are, you know, I was a Navy SEAL, this is what I used to carry. The only thing that I could get out was a very sarcastic, thank you for your service, killer. Beautiful, fucking A, Trevor, that was amazing. And then he gets red in the face and almost... and then he gets red in the face and goes back to his bench. Later on, he pulls out this P229 Sig Sauer pistol and starts shooting at 100 meters for absolutely no reason. Maybe to flaunt that he has a 229, I have no idea. Hits almost nothing, then he's posing like he's an Olympic precision pistol shooter. Yeah, oh fuck, those are great. Kind of like the thumbnail, except with the rifle. Anyhow, this shit goes on for over an hour, and I have to say that 10-day range fee easily covered that kind of entertainment you only get once in a good while. By the way, glad I came across the channel. Keep it up with the great content. Thanks a lot, Trevor, for sharing your story. Yes. So these range ninjas, yeah, they've got so much shit on there. And guess what? If he was a Navy SEAL, he wouldn't have a fake ACOG on there, guaranteed. And he probably wouldn't go out to a public range and proclaim that he was a Navy SEAL. Because most of them have buddies or they have land themselves, and every Navy SEAL, actual Navy SEAL that I've ever met, are some of the coolest guys, the most laid back, like extremely professional, but they're nice, they're respectful, they don't flaunt their shit, they don't sit there and proclaim that they were a Navy SEAL. It's only after an extended conversation that you find out that, oh, okay, so you were that, and then when you don't make a big deal out of it, they'll actually talk to you about it because you're not this fucking fanboy. Anyway, so this guy, I'm just saying that out here, if somebody proclaims that they're a Navy SEAL that quickly in a conversation out at the range, you know they're full of shit. I'm not saying you didn't know that, Trevor, but Jesus Christ, yeah. So these fuckers exist everywhere. It's not technically stolen valor because everybody thinks that just because you're proclaiming something and that you're wearing a uniform or whatever, that it's stolen valor. It's technically not the way the federal law is written. You have to actually receive something at like a military rate or for free, like a quid quo pro. Using your military service or lack thereof as the excuse, that's stolen valor. It's not dressing up like this and proclaiming that you're a Navy SEAL and shit. That's just being a fucking retard. That's just being a moron, hanger dodger, whatever else kind of worthless sack of shit you are. And it usually stems from a lot of mental insecurities and mental illness. So combine those two and you got a perfect recipe. Or somebody that was in the military and just didn't do fuck all and they feel bad about it for whatever reason, and you know, they were in finance or they were, you know, an electrician or some shit like that. It's like, okay, you were in the military. I'm going to think you're a bigger douchebag if you proclaim that you were something that you weren't than if you just said, hey, I was a plumber. I'd be like, oh, fucking right on, cool. And that's the way that most of the military people are. So yeah, these fuckers are everywhere at ranges. They're terrible. Usually they can't hit the broadside of a fucking barn, and they're the loudest. And again, I usually just, if they get to be like dickheads, I don't. It's not even worth getting into it with them because there are firearms involved, and I don't trust people. Some people get so pissed off they don't give a fuck about the consequences, and they'll just shoot you at the range. Bam. So anyway, yeah, good job just sitting there kind of laughing. That was pretty funny. I would have laughed too, but I'd have probably been out of there a hell of a lot sooner than you. I would have not lasted as long as you did, Trevor. So anyway, thanks for both the stories, guys. I appreciate it. I figured they were a little bit shorter, so I'd combine it into one video. You guys are liking this series so far, and you guys have been sending some pretty cool stories, and they're factual. These are these people's experiences. I definitely have experienced very similar shit to all this stuff so far, except for some of the dangerous shit. That was a little extreme. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for sending in those stories. Please continue to send in stories. Make sure they're your own. Make sure they're not made up or copied and pasted. And just because you try to make up a story to get on the channel, that's not what this is about. This is about educating people and having a good laugh at it. While we're teaching about safety and like things to not do at a range. In these two, there wasn't really any safety violations besides that guy slinging his pistol, which it's a gray area. I would not like it if somebody did that, but depending on your range rules, I don't know. But he said they're not allowed to do that at the range. Have their bolts open and not touch. So that was a safety violation. Luckily, nothing worse than that came out of there. Don't fuck with firearms when people are downrange. That's my general rule wherever you are. Private range, somebody's gravel pit, whatever. If somebody is downrange changing or checking targets, you don't even fucking touch the weapon. It's open, it's cleared, it's pointed in a safe direction. You just don't touch it. And guess what? I've never even come close to having an accident, and I'm really comfortable because all my friends do the same thing at a range. We have everything open. Nobody touches it, and there's a lot less pressure when you know that people are just not fucking with firearms when you're downrange. So anyway, thanks for the stories, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll keep this series going as long as I keep getting these cool stories. I might tell a couple of my stories too. They're not as cool as, not as intense as a lot of these ones have been so far, but I got some funny ones. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it. If you consider becoming a supporter on Patreon, link for that is in the description. It's $1 a month, $12 a year. Helps me get cool props and helps me to prevent me from becoming a certified range ninja. Anyway, no, I do a lot of videos on historical weapons and military things like helmets and whatnot, and bayonets and other like camouflage patterns. And Patreon really helps me be able to get that stuff to give you guys a little bit better idea of what the product, or the item actually is. Instead of just showing like pictures, I actually show you what it looks like on a video. To me, that's how I learn. That's why I like doing that. And Patreon helps me get a bunch of stuff that I would not normally be able to afford or get to help teach you guys. So I appreciate that. If you do $5 a month or more, you get into access to my Discord server. There's a lot of people on there already. It's really a fun time. So yeah, just consider checking that out. If not, I do appreciate you just watching. Let me know what you think. If you got any cool stories, again, post them in the comments. Or you can look me up on Facebook, Mike B. Send me a message on there. And yeah, if I use your story, I'll give you a shout out like this, and we'll keep the series going. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Range Ninjas 101. Fuckity bye.